Welcome in everyone to Let's Talk Utes, part of the Let's Talk Network. Today we are going to be talking about the defining plays of the Utah football season in 2022. So let's just get right in with our first play.
Let's do it. So we'll just watch it through once and then we can discuss, give our reasons why we think this is a defining play, and then let us know if you guys agree.
Fenwick alongside. Extra coming. Beavers pick it up, and that's a
Got him.
6.
Yes, sir.
Clark Phillips, twice and a quarter.
Man,
Well, obviously
I
with these-
absolutely loved this.
Well, obviously with these plays, we had a lot of. Sorry. Obviously with this play, we have a lot of choices with Clark's picks here. He had 3 in this game. We decided to go with the pick 6. For me, it just kind of signified the dominance of Clark Phillips all year long. The dude was just a vacuum. You couldn't throw to him. He had that number 1 receiver locked up most of all season. He had a few slips-ups here and there. But this kind of just defined, for me, like how dominant Clark really was throughout the year and why he was drafted this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just such a big play because Oregon State is a tough opponent. The year prior to this, we had lost to them in a pretty bad loss, to be completely honest, just a loss that really hurts the confidence in the team a little bit. And so having Clark coming out like this, establishing Utah early, giving us a lead in this game, that was really big for the season.
Yeah, this was our first tough Pac-12 matchup of the year. Obviously, we lost to Florida first game of the season. It leaves a pretty bad taste in your mouth. We kind of beat up on inferior teams like Southern Utah, San Diego State, and Arizona State in the 3 weeks following the Florida game. But really, it kind of didn't get the taste of that loss out of your mouth because you really hadn't beaten anyone good yet. So finally, beating Oregon State, who got you the year before, with a defensive play when we couldn't stop them defensively last year, just felt really sweet, and it kind of got the taste of Florida out of your mouth.
Yeah, completely. And I mean, it's not like this play went to waste. Most people remember the final score of this game. Oh, wait, this is just a Clark Phillips highlight reel. But we were only up by 5 points in the third quarter. It was 16-21. Like, this game was definitely in the balance at a point, and we did end up blowing them out towards the end. But this was
It's
such
a
huge
lot,
play. We
a
needed all
lot
of those
closer than
picks.
people think. Oregon State, this was not a 42-16 type of game. This was a lot closer than that score indicated.
Well, Oregon State has a competent quarterback in this game. It's a lot closer than it looks.
Yeah.
You know, they go 3 pretty good field goals, 26 yards, and 31 yards without Utah answering to get it into 16-21. And that's where kind of Utah kind of broke out, where you had Devon Bailey, Jalen Dixon, and Dalton Kincaid all get scores right there, kind of signify the win for Utah and make it look a little bit more dominant than it truly was. But it was still a really great win, really fun game to watch, and kind of, like Tanner said, took that bitter taste out of your mouth after that disappointing Florida loss.
Well, let's move on to the next play that defined the season.
That gives me chills.
I love it.
For 2 in the lead. Rising up the middle. He's in.
Absolutely insane.
Utah leads.
Knowing the context of him injuring his knee pretty severely the play before this, it makes it even more sweet that he played through that pain and that he was able to get in for that 2-point conversion.
The absolute just adrenaline after the knee injury to still run it in like that, unreal.
I mean, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Cam Rising versus USC is the best quarterback in the country. I mean, the dude went 30 for 44 with 415 yards for 2 touchdowns, and then rushed for 60 yards with 3 touchdowns.
He caught a pass as well in this game. So.
And caught a pass. The dude did everything. And obviously, a lot of people remember this game as the Dalton Kincaid game, where he went 60 for 16, 234 yards with a touchdown. But for me, this game signified Cam Rising. He was all over this game. He really just showed why he's considered one of the best quarterbacks in college football.
Yeah, I think for me, this game was really the we're back moment of the season. Losing to Florida was really unexpected. They were not a good team, frankly. We didn't play well. We made a lot of mistakes, and it was a very disappointing loss. And so people at that point were questioning, does this team really have it? Was last year a fluke? This game showed that we had it, that we had the juice to be able to do it again. And so I think that's why this is one of the best plays of the year.
Yeah, we had lost to UCLA right before this, the week before this. So this bouncing back like this in beating undefeated USC at the time, absolutely incredible play.
Okay,
And
let's move
Utah
on to the next
just-
one. Or no?
Well, just like Tanner, like you guys said, it showed the grit that Utah can play with anyone, play with the big boys. This USC team was really dang good. They are really dang good, and it shows like, hey, we're not flukes, like you guys were bringing up.
Exactly. Moving on. This one is a little bit of a sleeper play. Let's just watch it and see.
Yeah.
Maybe on Thomas, not on the trip. 3rd and 16 going deep and a great catch. It's hauled in and a first.
Bet you guys didn't
What a
expect
catch
to
by
see a
Jalen,
Bryson Barnes highlight on this 5 plays that defined the season, but it really did. This is a win we absolutely had to have. We couldn't take another loss in Pac-12 play. This would have, in essence, eliminated us from title contention. And a 3rd and 16 going into the 4th quarter, we got to get points on the board right here against a pretty good Washington State team. No Tavion, no Rising, no Keithy. This was a really big play.
Yeah, I think that Bryson Barnes being told he's going to start 30 minutes before the game, he didn't play the greatest game of all time, but he did enough to get a win against a tough opponent on the road. And I think that clutch plays like this really save your season, Like, your season is defined in the close wins you get and the upsets you avoid. How many upsets happen in college football every single week? If you're good at avoiding those, you're going to win a lot of games.
And
I would, if you actually press play here and go to the next
game, this got 27 first and goal Utah.
Touchdown. And put us up 14 points, end of the 3rd quarter. Huge play.
And I just want to share, this is a game where it really kind of defined the season. Truthfully, we were battling with injuries. Kincaid gets injured here. Cam's gone. Like you guys bring up Cam, Keithy, and Thomas. Bryson Barnes steps up, plays a pretty decent game. Not super flashy, but
yeah,
it kind of shows like the depth that Utah has developed, and it shows that hey, without this win, without Bryson Barnes stepping up, we have no idea what happens to Utah this year.
Yeah,
so this was a 100% must need win.
This is the game that you're not going to tell your kids or grandkids about unless you're Bryson Barnes. Then you probably will tell them about this game. But if you're not Bryson Barnes, you're probably not going to look at this game and say, oh, wow, that was the best game I've ever watched. Because frankly, I think all Utah fans were just really nervous the whole time.
Yeah.
And now that's huge. Thompson is going to flip it back, and the ball's on the turf. Utah scoops it up, and they'll score. Oh, my goodness. Karene Reed.
Yeah, it can be tough to watch anything from the Oregon game just because of how our offense played. But this play right here was a big turning point for the defense. Before this, we were just not getting the penetration, not getting the push. We didn't look fast. We didn't look aggressive. This game was a turning point for the defense.
I think that all has to do with the not resurgence, but the spark that some guys that weren't playing the start of the season kind of brought. Karene Reed is a prime example. Connor O'Toole, Sione Vaki. These are the players that really kind of helped Utah's defense improve greatly at the end of the season. And this scoop and score by Karene Reed is a big part of that.
Yeah, I think that before this game, the defense had been kind of mid, we have a tough loss against Florida where we can't tackle, we can't stop the run. Same thing against UCLA where we're not assignment sound, we're missing tackles, blowing coverages. And yeah, we're just getting a lot of points scored on us. And I feel like this is the moment in this Oregon game where the defense went from being theoretically good to an actually good defense.
Yeah, I agree with you totally.
One sack. It flipped completely here in Vegas. 3rd and 19, rising. It's right on target. Money Parks broke free.
It's beautiful.
Touchdown.
Late hit there, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Kalen Bullock sucks, bro. That dude's one of the worst defenders I've ever seen.
Some respect on his name.
I literally think he was one of the worst defenders we played all year, and yet people think he's good.
That guy sucks.
Hey, preseason All-American.
Yeah,
Right?
Dude, didn't they rank him as like the 7th best player in the Pac-12 or something? There was
Something
reason for it.
crazy.
Number one
Outrageous.
safety in the whole country.
But I'll talk a little bit about this play. This play was critical. Beginning of the 3rd quarter, Utah had seized back momentum. USC was kind of reeling, and this play, which kind of exemplifies all of USC's flaws and Utah's virtues. USC can't tackle, not assignment sound, bad defense. Utah kind of gritty, toughs it out even when it looks like you're not going to make it.
Never giving up.
Never giving up. It really sealed the deal for our 3rd straight Pac-12 championship because USC only ended this game with 24 points. So this score puts Utah at 24 points.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where we could have taken so many different plays, especially from this game. But this Money Parks game for me really kind of signifies Utah as a whole. Money Parks, a small guy, not your typical star wide receiver. He had his first ever touchdown against USC last year, the year prior to this, and he goes out and he converts a huge play to score the touchdown, 57 yards on a 3rd and 19. I mean, prime underdog story for Utah here.
Yeah, I mean, beginning of the 3rd after coming back, you cannot let off the gas. You absolutely cannot give them back the momentum. So this was such a key bridge play between our momentum in the first half leading into the momentum in the second half.
Yeah. It kind of represents the season though, doesn't it? Because we kind of start off slow. You know, the pass that Money Parks catches is a few yards short of the line and there's a few people around him. You think he's going to get tackled, which kind of is like how Utah didn't even think we would make the championship game. You know, we thought Oregon would beat Oregon State. You know, we were going to come up just a bit short like Money Parks, but somehow, some way, you find a way to break it and score a TD.
Exactly.
It just really represents Utah's season to me, I think.
It really does. It really does because people didn't even think we should have been in this game, this Pac-12 championship. We come out and we win it, dude. Just taking advantage right there.
When USC went up 17-3, everyone was saying, "Oh, who let the Utes in? Who let Utah in?" You know, and it turned out to be a little premature, just like it was in October when they came to Rice Eccles.
Mm-hmm.
When this just pushes my narrative that Cam Rising is the best quarterback when he plays USC, man.
I mean,
It's amazing.
34.
Legitimately is statistically and eye test outplayed Caleb Williams both times.
Both games. Yeah, both games. Outplayed the Heisman Trophy winner. Crazy.
Cam Rising went 22 for 34 in this game for 310 yards with 3 passing touchdowns.
Oh.
You know, just a shout out to Thomas Yasmin for his incredible play, breaking the tackle by number 7. I think Malachi Blackman, right? That's his name?
Caitlin Bullock.
Caitlin Bullock. Who's Malachi Blackman? I don't know why that came into my head.
He's on their team. We had the older Blackman, and he abandoned us with USC, the younger.
He went to Colorado first, and then he transferred to USC.
I see. But and then obviously his Colorado hurdle. I just want to give those a little shout out. Thomas Yasmin has some of the most electrifying plays in the season, but he also kind of cost us a few. So just shout out to Thomas Yasmin as well.
Okay, well, I think we can wrap it there. Thank you guys for watching. This is a really fun video. Please like and please comment what you think the plays are that define the season. We'd love to have a conversation with you, and it's always good to just reminisce about the fun moments of last season.
Yeah, 100%. We respond and we read every single comment. So I'm excited to see you guys down there. Go Utes, baby.
Go Utes.
Yeah, let us know other videos you want us to do, some good ideas. We'll take them into consideration, and you'll see them here soon.